My marriage to Michael wasn't a fairy tale, but it wasn't terrible either, just a quiet, comfortable routine that had slowly lost its warmth. We married later in life, me at 44, him at 50, both emerging from failed first marriages. Michael was a creature of habit, filling his days with golf, fishing trips, and endless work dinners. Silence settled between us, and I learned to live with it, spending my days gardening, volunteering, and keeping the house in order. Then Ethan moved in. Michael's son from his first marriage had always been polite but distant. During the early years, I saw him only on holidays, obligatory visits when he was still in college. He was shy, awkward in that way young men often are around their stepmothers, but now, 6 years later, the man who arrived at our doorstep wasn't the same reserved teenager I remembered. Ethan had just graduated, struggling to find his footing in the world. His fine arts degree, something Michael never approved of, hadn't led to much success. So Michael offered him a place to stay while he figured things out. I wasn't consulted, but I didn't mind. The house was big enough, and I welcomed the company during the long hours Michael spent away. What I didn't expect was how Ethan's presence would change everything. There was something about him, an effortless charm that made people gravitate toward him. His dry humor, his easy smile, the way he filled the empty spaces in the house in a way Michael never did. It started with small moments. One morning, as I trimmed the hedges, Ethan appeared barefoot in the doorway, cradling a cup of coffee, his hair still tousled from sleep. Sophia, VO. You're up early. Ethan, VO, couldn't sleep. Besides, someone has to appreciate all the work you put in out here. I laughed, shaking my head. Don't let Michael hear you say that. He thinks the garden takes care of itself. Ethan, VO. Michael doesn't notice much. His words caught me off guard, but I didn't press. As the weeks passed, our conversations grew longer, our interactions more natural. He lingered in the kitchen while I cooked, telling me stories about college or asking for advice on job applications. One afternoon I found him sprawled on the couch, sketching in a notebook. Mind if I see? He hesitated, then handed it over. The pages were filled with intricate sketches, portraits, landscapes, abstract designs that seemed to pulse with life. Sophia, these are incredible. Ethan, just a hobby. For a moment, he just looked at me. Then, with a faint smile, he whispered, Ethan, you're the first person who's ever said that. Something in the air shifted, a tension neither of us acknowledged, but both of us felt. And then came the belt incident. I won't tell you what happened, not yet, but that was the moment everything changed. I tried to keep my distance, but in a house that suddenly felt too small, avoidance was impossible. One evening, as I washed dishes, Ethan stepped into the kitchen, his hair damp from a shower. I froze at the sound of my name from his lips. Sophia. Yes? Ethan, I'm sorry. About the other day, that was awkward. Sophia, it's fine, let's just forget about it. But he shook his head. Ethan, I don't think I can. Sophia, my heart pounded. Ethan, we can't. But before I could say more, he stepped closer. His eyes held mine, unwavering. Ethan, I know, but I don't want you to think it didn't mean something to me. The air between us crackled with something unspoken. Then Michael's voice called from the front door. Sophia, I'll be right there. But I knew even as I turned from him that something had shifted. The days after were filled with stolen glances, tense silences, and an unspoken understanding that neither of us dared to put into words. Until the night he kissed me. It wasn't planned, but when it happened, it shattered every line I thought I'd drawn. Sophia, VO. This can't happen again. Ethan, VO. He nodded, but his eyes said he didn't believe it, and neither did I. What started as fleeting moments spiraled into something neither of us could control. At first, we were careful. Quiet corners, hushed conversations, but as time passed, caution turned to recklessness. One evening, while Michael was out, Ethan found me in the library, pretending to organize books, my hands trembling. "Ethan, you're shaking." "Sophia, I'm fine." "Ethan." He placed his hands on my shoulders, turning me toward him. "You don't have to be afraid." I was afraid of what we were doing, but I didn't stop him. The secrecy only made it more intoxicating. Every touch, every stolen moment felt like defying gravity, a rebellion against a life I had resigned myself to. But with the thrill came the fear. Michael wasn't blind. He started asking questions. Then there was Claire, his colleague. She had a way of inserting herself into places she didn't belong, her eyes always watching, her words laced with something just shy of accusation. "Claire, Michael doesn't talk much about his personal life, does he?" "Sophia, every marriage has its challenges," I replied, keeping my voice steady. The implications were clear. And then, Ryan. Ethan's best friend, the one who saw too much. Ryan, VO. "You've been spending a lot of time at home," Ryan noted casually one evening. "Must be nice, having someone to keep you company." The cracks in our facade were spreading. Then came Michael's ultimatum. "Michael, VO, you have a week to pack your things." Ethan, VO. "You don't get to decide when I leave." Michael, VO. "This is my house and I won't tolerate this any longer." Ethan, VO. "Tolerate what? Me being here, or me getting closer to Sophia than you ever could?" Silence fell, the room thick with the weight of words that couldn't be taken back. That night, as Ethan packed his suitcase, his voice was raw with frustration. "Ethan, you don't have to stay. Come with me." For a moment I considered it, but reality crashed down. "Sophia, I can't." "Ethan, then this isn't over." The next morning he was gone, but then the note appeared, slipped under my bedroom door. "Ethan, you think you've won, Michael, but you don't know the truth. I'll make sure you do." Claire knew, and she was playing us both. And when secrets start unraveling, the consequences can be deadly. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your theories in the comments below. See you in the next video.